Even if you're not a golf fan, you may have heard of Graham DeLaet. He is the best Canadian player in the game right now and readying himself for a major tournament this week. But while he's in the bigs with names like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, his heart remains in Canada. Our Paul Hunter spent some time with the pride of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, as he practiced for the President's Cup.
Smacking golf balls that hard. Again and again. Here on the edge of the sweltering Arizona desert, and you'd be forgiven if the last thing on your mind was cold and far away Canada. Not for Graham DeLaet. Suddenly, one of the top players in the world, he's the pride of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, and when it comes to Graham DeLaet, Canada is, well, everywhere.
And my Maple Leaf head cover, so a little bit of Canada kind of everywhere I go. Canadian flag on my golf bag. There's my favorite hockey team. My caddy Julian marks my balls every single week. A little Maple Leaf. My tees. I mean, everywhere I go, I always got a little piece of Canada with me.
You'll never forget your roots with this kid.
You might say he wears the maple leaf on his sleeve, except you'd be wrong. Graham wears it on his calf. One of 2 tattoos he showed us. We'll get to the other one later.
DeLaet trying to follow.
For those who don't follow golf, know this much about Graham. At this tournament last month in Atlanta, he could have won $10 million. And yes, he called that his playoff beard. The tournament didn't end quite as he'd hoped. He finished 28th. But Graham had already scored a decent consolation prize, a berth on the world team this coming week at the prestigious President's Cup in Ohio, set to square off against Tiger Woods and Team America.
It's exciting. I mean, like literally the proudest moment of my career. The pressure, the energy, the emotion, everything that goes into it. And, you know, that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to.
So who is this guy? To find out, we spent some time with him while practicing for the President's Cup.
How often do you practice? Like, are you out constantly?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, 6 to 7 days a week.
And it's paid off. Graham is the top-ranked Canadian golfer on the pro circuit. A guy who's pretty down to earth. Graham's lately been shooting for the stars. His bright, Canadian-designed pants make him stand out at every tournament, but it's his game that's brought real attention. Player of the Year in Canada in '09, top Canadian rookie on the PGA in 2010, and after a year off with a back injury, he topped $1 million in earnings in 2012. This year, he's nearly tripled that. His not-so-secret weapon, driving that ball, not just far, but right where he wants it. Watch carefully. His combined distance and accuracy at this is, for the moment, rated best on the planet. Now, by this time, you must be thinking Graham DeLaet surely knew he wanted to golf from the moment he was born. Well, think again.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to play in the NHL. There's no question. That was always my dream.
His heroes, Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, and Calgary Flame Theo Fleury. Like so many kids in Canada, Graham loved hockey, but it wasn't to be. A back injury ended that dream, and Graham focused on that other game he'd started to play in the summertime, golf. The only catch? Growing up in Weyburn, population 10,000, home to wheat fields and combines, pumping jacks, and a curling museum. Top-flight golf courses weren't exactly around the corner.
We were driving 5 hours to Nipawin and 4 hours to Saskatoon and an hour to Estevan, 3 hours to Swift Current kind of thing. So,
looking for golf courses.
Exactly, and you know, it's just one of those things you look back and you realize how much your parents did for you, and it's pretty unbelievable.
Graham, who never really even had a coach in those days, excelled, moving up the ranks while never forgetting his roots. What does Saskatchewan mean to him?
Blue collar, hard workers, humble people. We work hard to try to prove people wrong that, you know, just because you're not from a major center doesn't mean you can't be successful.
Next one will go right here, nice and low. 8 to 10 to your right, 8 to 10 to your left.
Saskatchewan pride turns into determination at this Phoenix training center. Maintenance, he says. The physical part of golf, Graham told us, has become huge.
Yeah, I think very important. I think it's one of those things that's really starting to pick up in the game. I mean, Tiger kind of started it all 15 years ago, and even when I first turned professional in '06, it was still pretty new.
Oh, and by the way, it's here that we noticed that other tattoo. Yep, Saskatchewan green and gold. When's the last time you saw that on a world-ranked golfer? What drives him?
I mean, the people that come up to me and tell me that I'm making them proud is, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I mean, it doesn't go unnoticed by myself and my wife and my family. And every single tournament that we're at, there's people with Canadian flags or Rough Rider jerseys, and it's pretty unbelievable.
A Rough Rider jersey at a golf tournament?
Every single week, yeah.
Which means, as he practices yet again putting to the hole, missing not a one while we were there, Graham knows that very likely somewhere in the crowd at the President's Cup in Ohio this weekend, someone will be sporting some Saskatchewan green, if not a little maple leaf red. Inspiration for a guy who hopes this is just the beginning. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Scottsdale, Arizona.